Hello and welcome to the second round of our Bundesliga weekend. Yesterday, our club, Ötigheim, had a fantastic day with a nice win against the team of Hamburg. And today we are playing against the local team of Kiel, which has a very solid squad. So the match will not be easy, but let's hope it will go as well as it did yesterday.
So we have the first result of our match today. Deimante made a draw with white pieces, and let's check briefly what happened in his game. So the queen's Indian defense. Bishop e4 is the usual move. But I believe that c5 is not the most common move in this position. I don't know if Deimante knew about this move. It actually led to massive exchanges. Of course, white's position looks slightly more pleasant because they have more space and nicely placed pieces, but black is still very solid. So let's see, okay, some maneuvers to improve the pieces, 94, and some more exchanges, which led to the rook endgame. It's a bit more pleasant for white, but black doesn't have any weaknesses, and it doesn't look like white can play for anything. So Deimante accepted draw after the d6. And it looks like a logical outcome of the game. So first game, first draw, and let's see what happens for the rest of the team. I have Deimante next to me, who had quite a solid game today, which finished in a draw. So what are your feelings about today's game?
My feelings are okay, but no more than that. I had the white piece. I needed a little bit sad to make such a quick duo and let the colleagues like this do a great job. But okay, so far the team strategy looks going well.
Yeah. So sometimes when you don't have a chance with white pieces, it's a bit frustrating, right?
Yes. Okay, I have to say I wasn't much inspired today. I was surprised by his choice of opening, his opening, and I decided just to play it safe. Okay.
Yeah, okay, it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Your opponent wants to be solid, sometimes it's just difficult to create something. And he played at some point c5. Was it a surprise to you? Because I think it's not the most common move, but okay, quite a logical one.
Exactly, it's not the most common, but Mamoru is quite interesting because in such structure, it's usually better with white to play e3 and bishop e2, and my bishop was already on the other side. So he spoke to me a little bit about the opening during the analysis, and actually it seems quite reasonable for that.
Yeah, it looked extremely solid, and I'm not even sure you missed something in your game, maybe some improvements that you have made.
Definitely,
for the future games, yeah. And do you enjoy preparing for your games, or it's something that you can't stand anymore?
That's quite the opposite, actually. I would like to prepare and to select my choice of opening, depending on what the opponent is playing. In fact, solid type of players, so I like to have a settled repertoire and just to play what I know.
Yeah. And do you try to find some weak spots in your opponent's play, or you just play your openings and you just feel more comfortable when it's your repertoire and you're not trying to find some new lines you know, to refute him?
A little bit both, I would say. I like to play what I know, but I'm also trying to spot some line the opponent doesn't play well or doesn't play the most aggressive choice. It's what I can play.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We have the second result of our match. Tigran finished his game, and let's take a quick look what happened. So the opening was a solid choice by black. They decided to go for Petrov, and Tigran opted for some quite a rare line in the opening. I guess he wanted to avoid the theoretical battles. and maybe to surprise his opponent. But still the position remains very solid. Black is bringing his knight to the king side. Some exchanges. Okay, now it's important not to miss mate on h7. Okay, now exchanging the bishops. And bishop f4. Okay. And now they start to repeat the moves. So I don't think Iran can avoid the repetition. Yeah, so they accept the draw, and we have one more draw with white. I don't know if it's good news for the team. We will find out soon. So we have Tigran with us, who made a draw today with white. Tigran, you had quite a solid game today, probably mostly because your opponent opted for a very solid opening. It was Petrov. And you played quite a rare line actually in the opening. Was it your preparation? Did you want to avoid the theoretical battle and just play chess?
Yeah, so when I wanted to prepare against my opponents, I just saw that he plays so many lines. So he plays e5, the French, Aragon, Sicilian, so it was extremely difficult to prepare against this player. So I wasn't really expecting Petrov. And I thought, I'm just trying to avoid the theory with this setup with knight coming to f4, just to maybe ask some different questions. But during the game, he fought for a very long time and found a very natural setup. And at some point, I just couldn't see how to pose any more problems, which is very pity because I was in a good mood to try to create some problems. And then after this knight e7, I just don't see how to ask any more questions. So.
Yeah, okay. So the loss of yesterday didn't affect your mood for today. Now you were ready to fight.
No. I'm trying to be as much as aggressive as I can, but sometimes the opening limits your options. But I was trying to play for some advantage, and I was quite happy with the setup. But then when I couldn't see how to proceed, I kind of had to settle for calm position, and then this repetition happens, which unfortunately I cannot avoid.
Yes. Yeah. And my last question, do you enjoy preparing for your games, or you think that nowadays the theory just developed too much and it became just too complicated?
Yeah, it did become a lot very, very complicated to prepare precisely against the player. I still enjoy some preparation, but I mainly like to play something I don't really know, try to understand the position, but it's also risky. So I prefer rapid when you don't have a lot of preparation and try to play your instinct a little bit more.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have one more result of our match. Sergei finished his game. He played with white pieces, and I want to share with you what he did today. So the game starts solidly. The English opening. e5. Here Sergei fought for some time to push the d4. And it brings to some interesting position. They exchange knights this way. Okay, now queen exchange, so some simplifications. White has double pawns on the f file, black has double pawns on the c file, so it's some kind of a balanced play. There are still quite many pieces on the board, but some more exchanges are coming. So let's see what happens. Okay, exchanging the rooks. Well, the position looks extremely solid. Both sides are okay to exchange pieces, so I think it's going to be, it was a draw over after king c3, which was accepted. Well, it's understandable because the position is quite solid and it looks difficult to find any plan to play for a win. So the logical outcome of the solid game, and let's wait for other games. So I have Sergey next to me, who today had yet another solid game. So what are your thoughts, Sergey, about today's game?
Yeah, I mean, the morning round always not so easy. Preparation was didn't went so well for me today, and I expected in this line maybe it would be slightly better for me some chances, but probably it was not a good play from my side, and the position completely equal and quite easily.
So did your opponent surprise you with his choice in the opening?
Yeah, it was not so easy to predict exactly which line he will play, and that's why I didn't expect this one which happened today. And it was kind of surprised.
He plays many openings, your opponent? Oh.
Yeah, he playing different openings and not easy of course.
I have a feeling that nowadays many players just play everything and the preparation became very difficult. What do you think about it?
Yes, it's true, yeah, and sometimes you need a lot of time to prepare deeply against some exact lines, and today was not so many time for this long preparation.
And do you enjoy preparing for your games, or you prefer to play something just out of the book?
Not really. I would prefer to get position out of the book, but nowadays it's not so easy. You must be ready.
Okay. And it's been quite some time since you played for Ötigheim club. Do you remember when you joined the club?
It was some years. It was a long way. We started years ago and step by step came to this way now.
Yes. And my last question, so you played many years and now it's in the first division. Are you happy about it, or do you like playing against?
Yeah, sure. It's becoming more and more interesting, more and more exciting.
Okay, so thank you very much.
We have one more game finished. It is a game of Pierre. Today he played with black pieces, and let's see together what happened in his game. So some Slav defense. Black shows a very solid setup. Now both sides are just developing the pieces. Okay, c5, opening up the light square bishop, fighting for the center. Seems like a decent plan. b5, knight e5, some exchanges in the center. Okay, now white does not take the pawn immediately, but just wants to put some more pressure on it. Rook c8, activating the rook. Okay, now some complications start. So rook c1, somehow black's position starts to look a bit suspicious, honestly speaking. White gets a 2 bishop advantage. So not an easy situation for Pierre. Okay, bishop takes f6. Does he have something concrete in mind? Because otherwise giving away one of the bishops looks a bit strange to me. Okay, Pierre is improving his position slowly. Queen e2. Drop proposition, which was accepted by Pierre. I guess the thing is that black can go for take, rook c2 and win back the pawn on the next move. That's why both opponents agreed for a draw. And I think it's a good result for us because I had a feeling that Pierre was suffering a bit in this game. So draw is good, and let's wait for other games.
Our next guest is Pierre, who had a draw today with black pieces. Pierre, how do you feel? Happy or disappointed?
Very happy and disappointed at the same time.
Tell us more about it.
Yeah, I played a horrible game, but okay, I managed to draw at the end, but I was suffering from start to end.
So what went wrong? The opening preparation?
Yeah, opening was not great. I missed some general ideas like get the positional advantage, and then I tried some tricks that works finally, but it was not supposed to work.
It was quite shaky, yes?
Yeah, shaky was the word.
Yeah, okay. And today we played the morning round. Do you have some difficulties to adjust to the morning games?
Yes, kind of. Morning I used to sleep most of the time, but okay, 10 o'clock is fine. I adjusted a bit my sleeping schedule
Yes.
because I starting to play again. So there's many runs in the morning. So
Many final rounds, especially
Yeah.
very important ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sleep so late this time.
Yeah, being a professional chess player requires some good habits.
Yeah. Sleeping for me is very important. Like I see a big difference when I don't sleep well
Yeah, sure.
compared to the other one, and I think it's very important for me.
Okay, so I wish you only good sleep in all your tournaments and many victories. Thank you.
So the result after 4 games is 2-2 because we have 4 draws. There are 4 more games left, actually 3 because we have another result. It's the game of Christian who ended, and I would like to share with you what happened. So Christian opted for some very interesting knight c6 line, which is not very popular on the top level, but actually Christian even wrote a book about this line, so he must know what he is doing. Okay, let's see. It's not a typical opening choice, so it will be some interesting position. Okay, white decides to take some space. Now black needs to regroup his knight, challenging white's center. Okay, some developing moves. All the pieces and all the pawns still on the board. So now we have to, Christian has to give the bishop. Okay, well, actually when we have less space, it's quite a good idea to exchange some pieces. Okay, some changes. e5. So now white has some space on the queen side, and black maybe will try to push some f5. Okay, white starts first to advance on the king side, and let's see what happens. Oh, the pawn gets to h6. Well, this can be a bit unpleasant in the endgames for black, but also there are some attacking ideas. Wow, white plays really aggressively, so Christian will need to defend f5, but now the problem is that the king gets open. Okay, he opens up his dark square bishop but loses the f pawn, so somehow the position looks very shaky. Okay, the knight is coming now, so he has actually enough counterplay. Well, it looks really complicated. And Christian offered a draw after queen f7. Honestly, it's difficult to say who is better here. It's really very messy. Christian probably decided not to take any risk as it's in a team competition. So yeah, another draw, and the match is very tense. So we still have 3 more games, and we will wait for the results from those games.
So we have Christian with us today, who made a draw after a very difficult game, let's say.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about your game today?
Relief, yeah.
Relief, yeah, it's a good word to describe it.
Because at some point the position was very doubles. I think I'm always equalized in the opening, which computer conference. I had to find one move or two, and then it went wrong.
Yeah, something went into the wrong direction, yes?
Yes, I changed the pawn structure, but I thought it was quite okay for me, but probably not.
Yeah, but the position was complicated, so sometimes it's just not easy to... Sometimes you realize too late that you made somewhere a mistake.
Yeah, then I did not find the right way to continue. And in the final position, we had no clue who was better.
Yeah. So draw is like a result. I wanted to ask you about your opening choice. It was quite an unusual one, but you already have quite an experience with this line.
We have this
Yeah, I remember.
on the internet.
Yeah, I lost all the incentive moves.
I briefly thought in the game because I wrote a book on it.
Yeah.
And in the opening there is some really unusual idea. I can play a6 before castle, and after d5 put my knight on a7, and then knight b5.
Okay.
But I decided to play more conventional chess today.
And
to please the boss.
I'm not sure if he's very pleased. And do you think your opponent reacted well to your opening choice? What he played was pretty good.
Yeah, it was really decent, and I was amazed that he played so quickly. That he played quite good moves. I thought, okay, maybe he should try to play slower, more slowly, to be more precise. But actually, what he did was pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. Mathieu has just finished his game, and let's take a look how he played today. So Mathieu was playing with white pieces, some Spanish, wow, open Spanish, very theoretical line. Knight takes c5 is less popular than d takes c5 directly, but still playable. Okay, so let's see what happened. Now some f5 was played. Okay, maybe probably black didn't like the light square bishop, which was quite annoying, and opening the f file now. So somehow white looks slightly better. Well, f takes e3 is an interesting option. Now I guess the idea is to play rook f1, so bishop h3, black prevents, and now e4. Okay, wow, this gets quite sharp, but queen e5, yes, so okay, they repeated moves in this position. Well, I don't know, I guess the position was probably more or less balanced, and neither of the players wanted to take risk. So one more draw, and we still have 2 more games to decide the winner of the match.
I have Mathieu next to me, who made a draw today with white pieces. The game was quite interesting. Do you have a feeling that you missed something?
Yes.
Tell us more about it.
He surprised me with this open Spanish. So I checked like 5 minutes before the game, and okay, I said I would play like stupid line, but somehow I get some little edge, and I think I was pressing. At some point, I think a long time to sacrifice a piece, but it was not good. And then suddenly I didn't know what to do, and I played bad. But so I missed something, so it was equal, and I said, okay, let's try to complicate stuff. And then it was totally crazy. I mean, I can win I'm a pawn up, I can win another pawn, but my king is super weak. And I just checked with computer, it was like slightly better forward, so I was not winning. So my regret, I didn't play well like the middle game when I was stable advantage.
Okay, so you don't feel too much disappointed with the result of the game, huh?
Yeah, I would have needed if I was winning in the final position, but I was not. But okay, I saw the match also, the match was going quite well, so...
Yes, the most important is how the team is playing, yes. And do you enjoy playing more for the team, or you prefer individual competitions?
I prefer playing for team.
Why?
Team spirit, and I don't know, it's only 2 days. No, I have a family, so going for 1 week.
Yes, we have a family.
For 2 days, it's perfect.
Okay, so you prefer the weekend games and which do not last too long.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We finally have a decisive game in our match, and it is the game of Alexander, who plays on the first board of our team. So he was playing with black pieces today, and let's see together what happened in his game. So Spanish, Berlin defense, d3, anti-Berlin, and Alexander opts for some slightly unusual setup, let's say. h6, now it looks like more a traditional Spanish. Wow, g5, very aggressive strategy, let's say. Pushing the pawn, the game looks really very interesting, and let's see how it develops. So black is bringing as many pieces as possible towards white's king. Okay, opening the file. Knight is jumping now. Oh, I like black's position. Somehow all the pieces are coming. Well, it's time also to think about his own king. Knight takes h4. Looks like a dangerous way of playing, because now d5 is coming, opening up the dark square bishop. Wow, I would be so afraid to play this with white. Black's bishops are so powerful on c6 and c5. Knight h2. Some tactics. But this comes quite naturally because all the black pieces are participating in the attack. So yeah, rook h4 and white resigns. Wow, what a nice game by Alexander. It was a pleasure to watch it, and it is especially nice because it brings us a very important point in this match. And now, with only one game left, we have very good chances to have a victory today. So I have Alexander next to me, the hero of our match today, who played a fantastic game and scored a very nice victory. Congratulations, Alexander.
Thank you.
Tell us more about your game, because it was really very interesting. You started solidly by the Berlin defense, but suddenly it got very sharp with h6, g5. Was it your preparation?
Yeah, I just found this idea after yesterday night after our team meeting.
You were inspired, yeah.
Yes. And it's I think it's really very interesting with h6, g5. It's like similar to Italian.
Yes, exactly. This
But-
plan is used in.
But bishop now it's not on c4. It's like bishop on white's bishop on a4, and like white spent extra tempo. So it looked to me very interesting. But problem was what I didn't have really time to check thoroughly this idea. So okay, I knew some like first moves, but when I started play by myself, I think it was not that good.
Yes, of course, the position was complicated. So, do you have a feeling that you made some mistakes in the game?
Yeah, I think so, maybe. But it was really, I'm not so sure. I mean, maybe h5 was not clear if I should I do, because I had at that moment I had knight h5 or knight h7 also.
Yeah, a lot of choice and not so easy to pick one move. Yes.
And after what I did h5, problem was with this f4 move. It's like a tactical trick. After f4, if I take on f3, knight f3, bishop g4, I really cannot play because of knight e5, bishop e2, bishop f7 check, king e7, knight c6.
Some crazy line.
With checks, yeah, but yeah, so it was completely okay. I think my idea, it seems to me that it's good, but the game was completely unclear. But I was shocked what Jonas, maybe he was like estimated his position. When he played knight takes h4, it was really strange decision. I mean, he could just take on e5, and it was completely unclear. Maybe even white could be better. Who knows? I mean, I just.
Yes, of course. It's easy when you check with computer, but when it's over the board, it's difficult. Yeah. Anyway, your game was very spectacular and interesting to watch. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we have the last result of our match today. It is the game of Kirill, who was quite long, so we will not check it entirely, but I will jump directly to some critical moments of the game. So in the current position, it looks like black is some kind of danger because they are forced to move their king. And Kirill here, he played king d8. It was the Najdorf defense, by the way, a very sharp opening choice from Kirill. So let's check briefly. Of course, the position is extremely complicated and requires normally some more time for analysis, but let's try to do it fast. So, black king is trying to escape to the queen side. Now, white gone for some forced line. And, well, both kings are actually exposed. So Kirill decided to change the queens and just play the endgame. Kirill is, by the way, very strong in the endgame, so I think he was happy that there are no more queens on the board. And let's see how he played the endgame. So black has two double pawns, but actually the e pawn is very strong, and white's h pawn is not moving anywhere. So this position is actually better for black, much better. We have all the pieces, and now we have a very dangerous passed pawn, actually two passed pawns. So wow, bishop f3, giving the bishop and then advancing his pawns. So now this position is technically winning. It requires some work, but Kirill managed to do it. Of course, he's a very experienced player, so for him it's not a big issue. And just let's jump to the final position of the game. He succeeded to grab the h pawn, and his opponent resigned in this position because it's the same. It's just a question of technique. And Kirill brings another great victory to our team, and we win the match. So it was a nice day for us, and we are very happy about it. So we have Kirill with us, who played a very nice but very long game today, and he won. So congratulations, Kirill! And
Thank you.
Tell us a bit more about your game, because it was really very interesting starting already from the opening. Did you prepare this line with black?
Yes, I play many years ago similar position against Ivic from Serbia, and it was 2016 in Parachin Open. I had a big advantage, but finally it was draw. During the game, I cannot remember in one moment when he played Queen G6. If I play King D8 or King F8, I think against Ivic I play King F8. But today I was thinking a lot and decided to play King D8. Looks very dangerous. But it's also very interesting because I saw that I can develop my pieces with Knight C6 and make quick counterplay. Of course, position was very complicated, and my opponent started thinking until Queen G6 check. He played very quickly. But now he started to think, and too long time, and in one moment he was in time trouble, and I think in ending I play very well. But okay, I can win easily in one moment, but I don't know why I play Bishop F3.
Yeah, for the beauty.
Yes.
Okay. And do you like playing such complicated positions, or you prefer to have some solid advantage and just a positional game?
I play usually positionally.
But today was a crazy day.
But I like Najdorf variation because I make one book for this variation 10 years ago, and I think I know this line with Queen B6 very well. I play even 30 years ago that line, and okay, of course, in my age it's not so easy to play such complicated, but I try.
Yes, you are a very strong player, so you have good understanding of what you are doing. So I think it's
Thank you.
age is not that important. Okay, and my last question: when you entered the endgame, I have a feeling that you felt really super comfortable in the endgame. Do you like playing endgames?
Yes, I like a lot to play endgames, and I think this is one of my strongest side in my play, and because not any risk to lose, only I can win, and then I feel very comfortable.
Yeah, when there is no risk, it's easier. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Kirill.
Thank you. Thank you.
So the first Bundesliga weekend is over, which was very successful to our Ötigheim team. We won both matches, the first one against Hamburg team and the second one against Kiel. So which puts us to a nice position with 2 out of 2. I hope you have enjoyed the interviews with the players and the short game analysis. It was a pleasure to be with you, and I hope that you will continue to follow our videos from the next matches. The next games will be in December, so thank you and see you soon.